3 seconds left in the ball game. My, oh my. It had to end this way. When you come right down to it, it had to come down to something like this. A last second, do or die, put it up and pray situation. It has been a season of struggle, a season of injury, a season of come back from long losing streaks, a season of, well, you've been there, you know. And here it is all boiled down to the final 3 seconds of play. 3 seconds left in the ball game. And it could be in the season. Clemens will inbound. Well, who's gonna take the shot? Clemens gets the ball. Clemens looks. Clemens, the bounce to Foster. Foster at the circle. Top of the key, a shot is blocked, and that's the ball. It is all over. The final score. The Kansas City Omaha Kings 95. The Cleveland Cavaliers 94. And the season ends in Omaha, Nebraska.
The voice of Nick Maletti.
The Cavaliers were founded because they needed to be founded. We had a situation when we bought the arena in the Barrens in 1968 where we had Cleveland, Ohio, the 8th market in the United States of America, with no professional basketball. No professional basketball. Now, towns like Milwaukee, towns like Seattle, towns like Phoenix, the nice people live there and they're nice towns, but they're small towns. They had NBA basketball, and here we were in our town without it. So we went to work immediately. One of the first calls I made was to Walter Kennedy, as he will tell you. And we started a series of negotiations that took from the end of '68 until we put the team together and got the franchise in April of '70. And then we started to play that ball.
Warren into the fourth corner, left wing, going against Dave Bing, high post to Wesley. Wesley, right side to Sorensen, the big D, comes around Driscoll to the side of the circle, back out on the right. Bobby Lewis jump shot is across the rim to Bingo, whistle and foul. And we've got a push off on Bingo, and that's 4 fouls on Bingo Smith. Comes Gary Freeman into the game. Freeman replacing Bingo.
Hi, this is Joe Tate. Remember that season of 1970-71? The Cavaliers had a coach and general manager named Bill Fitch, who had coached at Bowling Green in Minnesota, but had absolutely no experience in professional basketball. That's the way Nick Maletti wanted it, a fresh face for his new franchise, not a tired retread who had bounced around from club to club. The Cavs started with an unbelievable collection of cast-offs from other NBA teams assembled through the expansion draft, blended with inexperienced college graduates claimed in the regular draft. The results were predictable. The Cavaliers lost their first 15 games and wound up winning only 15 games in that entire campaign. Their record wasn't that much better the next year, when they won only 23. Fact of the matter is, the third and fourth campaigns produced only a total of 61 victories. If nothing else, they were consistent. The Cavs finished each of their first 4 seasons in last place in the NBA's Central Division. On many occasions, the only thing that kept them going was Bill Fitch's sparkling sense of humor.
I think the one-liners that I used in those days are still true. You go through 15 or 67 season, and you've got to feel that even when your ship has come in, all of a sudden there's a dark strike.
Maletti didn't panic, though. He had predicted at the outset it would take 5 years to make the playoffs, and he came very close to that prediction.
The reason I said 5 years was because if you end up last, you get the first or second round draft choice once, twice, 3, 4 times, you're going to start to get some serious talent on that team. And it's that talent that wins and loses games. So that was the principle of the 5 years in basketball, the 12-man squad, playing 5 at a time, and do it in 5 years.
The talent came slowly. A parade of basketball players arrived and went as Fitch tried to assemble a combination that could play with the NBA's best. Austin Carr of Notre Dame arrived as the first draft pick in 1971. Towering Jim Brewer, #1 pick from Minnesota in 1973, stuck too, as did Campy Russell and Foots Walker of West Georgia, numbers 1 and 2 in 1974. Fitch went to the market for the rest of the cast, acquiring Ohio State's Jimmy Clemens from the Los Angeles Lakers at the start of the 1972-73 season, and veteran Dick Snyder of North Canton and Davidson from the Seattle Supersonics for 1974-75. Fitch made one of his greatest deals when he acquired the rights to 6'11" Jim Jones of Marquette from the Los Angeles Lakers that same year. Jones had labored for 2 years in the now-defunct ABA. The only holdover from that original bunch of Cavaliers was Bobby Bingo Smith, the pride of Tulsa. All that helped to pull the Cavs to respectability in 1974-75 when they won 40 and lost 42, and missed the playoffs on the final day of the season. A season that had seen them move to a new home, Nick Milletti's Coliseum at Richfield. There were few changes at the outset of the 75-76 season, and Cleveland lost 11 of its first 17 games. Fitch went to market again. This time he came up with solid gold. Nate Thurmond, one of the enduring stars of the NBA. After 13 seasons of the NBA, Thurmond was nearing the 14,000 mark in both points and rebounds. He had spent 12 seasons with San Francisco and Golden State, and the 1974-75 campaign with the Chicago Bulls. The price was a bargain. Cleveland gave up backup center Steve Patterson and rookie Eric Fernston of San Francisco for Thurmond and 25-year-old Roland Garrick, a 3-year NBA veteran.
At the time we picked Nate up, I felt that our basketball team was playing better basketball than what we had been playing the year before when we actually finished the season strong and missed the playoffs by just one game. And there wasn't really anything we could do to get better other than pick up somebody to replace the one weakness I felt we had, and that was when we took Jim Jones off the floor. We became an inferior basketball team for 6 or 7 or 18 minutes, depending on how long we keep Jim off. And if we continued to play Jim 40 minutes, we still weren't going to make it up. We were 8 minutes short at the center position, and we were going to have a tired Jones, and probably by the time the season rolled around, another 16 games, he would be playing at about half effect. So what Nate gave us was full 48 minutes of top center play.
With Thurmond, a native of Akron, Ohio, backing up Jones in the center, it was turnaround time. By December 19th, the Cavaliers were 14-14, and they were never below 500 for the remainder of the season. Thurmond had made the difference, and what a difference. The Cavaliers were now not only contenders for the playoffs, but for the Central Division title as well. On March 31st, 1976, the Cavaliers got their hands into the pot of gold by beating the New Orleans Jazz 110-101 to clinch their first playoff bid in history.
Cavaliers are leading 106-99 with 1 minute to play in the game. Washington has already lost to Golden State. The Cavaliers, if they can hang on and win this one, number one, will assure themselves of a playoff spot for the first time in their history, and number two will go into first place in the Central Division by 3 percentage points. 108-101, 17 seconds to go in the ballgame. The Cavaliers will inbound. Lob to center floor to Russell. Russell into the four corner of the left wing. Underneath the Brew. Brew double pump up and in. Brewer's got 11. 110-101. It's all over at the Superdome. Kelly gives the ball to Bibby. Bibby down the left side. Bibby shoots on the run. Put it up. No good. And that's the game. The Cavaliers are in the playoffs for the first time in their history. Now they are in first place in the Central Division by 3 percentage points. The final score at the Superdome in New Orleans. Cleveland 110. The New Orleans Jazz 101.
In an incredible 11-day period, the Cavaliers hung on to outlast the Washington Bullets by 1 game, finishing the season with a record of 49 wins and 33 losses. They had been 42-22 since Thurmond joined the club. Their first playoff foe was Washington, whom they had beaten 4-2 in regular season play. The matchup was a study in contrast. The Bullets had been to the playoffs before. The Cavaliers were brand new at it. Washington had a bread-and-butter lineup including Dave Bain, Phil Chenier, the Big E, Elvin Hayes, Wes Unseld, Chuck Robinson, and Nick